Falling in Love in Niagara is a Hallmark film from 2024. This is directed by Marita Grabiak, written by Carley Smale, with a cast including Jocelyn Hudon and Jeannotte. And this one is pretty decent. It works really well. The story is quite pleasant. Madeline's fiance leaves her just before their wedding, so she goes on her honeymoon anyway, and while she's there, of course, she gets the chance to reconnect with herself and also potentially find love. With this kind of narrative, it can always be risky because it can be difficult to buy into the fact that a character is so open to finding love so soon after they have been left by apparently the love of their life. If you're going to marry somebody, we can assume that they are the love of your life. And then to consider being open to finding love so soon after, it can be difficult to buy into. But with this one, I believed it. I believed it enough. It was easy enough to buy into the narrative, and that meant that it was a pretty decent experience. That being said, Madeline wasn't the most likeable character to begin with. And that's before she was left. We spent a little bit of time getting to know her before she is left and the relationship is over. So it's not just a case of, well, she was not very likeable because she was in a bad mood because of the breakup, which would be completely understandable. It was a little bit before that as well. So it took a bit of time to get to like her as a character, to really care about her. I would never say I loved her, but certainly it becomes easier to like her over time, and we do have some decent character development there. The characters are all well written though, they're all believable. We have some great performances. The destination is gorgeous, of course. It is filmed, at least in part, at Niagara Falls. According to IMDb, the scenes in Niagara Falls are from the Canadian side rather than the American side, which I definitely wouldn't have picked up on without that information there. So just some information there if anybody finds that interesting. And we also have some great lighting and camera work. It is visually very satisfying, which is not a surprise. Most Hallmark films are. I do think it's quite beautiful to look at. We also have some good music, and in general, I'd say Falling in Love in Niagara is a pleasant film. It's an easy watch. The characters are likeable enough, but it did take some time to get there with Madeline. The story, again, is easy enough to buy into. As always with these kind of films, it's maybe a little bit unbelievable. Maybe it's just me. I could never imagine being left right before I'm about to get married and then going on my honeymoon and potentially falling in love. So maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm a very closed off person, which, to be fair, is probably true. But certainly they're a little bit difficult to buy into. But with this one, I didn't really have any issues there. It's a decent story, likeable enough characters, visually a satisfying film. Falling in Love in Niagara is a decent enough film, and I'm happy enough to recommend it.